up, YouTube? Yo gang, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the good and the bad in owning a Barrett M82. Barrett M82 A1. Now, there are many good pros and many cons when owning a firearm like this. So let's go ahead and get into it so I can tell you a little bit of my experience since I've owned this. All right, first thing is ammo prices. Ammo prices are ridiculous. I mean, it would seem ridiculous, but because of what the caliber is, it's quite understandable why you would pay anywhere between $4.50 to $5 per round. So when you are headed out to the range and you want to have you a nice, range day. I know nobody goes to the range to shoot five rounds, one magazine, 10 rounds, one magazine, whatever it is. I know you guys don't go out there to do that. You guys go out there to have fun, enjoy it, and it is quite costly to do so. So if you're interested in purchasing a Barrett, whether it's a 107 or an 82, whatever it is, the price for the ammo is going to run you the same, between $4.50 and $5. All right. Secondly, the magazines. The magazines are very, very expensive. It came with a 10-round magazine, but I just purchased a 5-round magazine as well for $150. So a 5-round magazine for a monster like this will cost you quite a pretty penny. It was $150 for that. Now, another thing, you cannot go cheap when we're talking about scopes or anything that you are going to add to it for your distances or whatever it is that you're going to use it for. Now, the reason why I say you can't go cheap, because you have to make sure the glass in your scope is rated for a 50. If it is not rated for a 50, you will break the glass and you're not going to be happy, because it's going to, again, cost you not only what you paid for the first one, but you're going to have to pay to replace it. So this Night Force right here cost me roughly $3,500. So it's $3,500 for this Night Force. And so far, so good. I have not had any issues. It holds zero. It does what it's supposed to do. Now, the firearm in itself, price-wise, it can cost, it cost me $10,500. So this Barrett was $10,500. So when you go to adding up little things here and there for it, it is quite costly, but why not? Why not? I enjoyed it. This was my dream rifle and I had to have it. So that's exactly what I did. I went out and got it. What else? Ammo. Let's step back to the ammo for a second, because I had an issue with the ammunition when I purchased it. I purchased the Barrett ammo, and it was probably a little over 250 rounds of this specific ammunition. It was the same batch, same lot number, same everything. Going into it, it was firing extremely well. It was doing a good job. And then as I moved into maybe my 5 or 6 box, I was noticing that although I would rack the rifle, the bolt would go forward as it should, but it would not shoot. The trigger, the firing pin would sound like it was going in action, hitting the primer, but nothing was happening. I couldn't understand what the issue was. I would clear it, break everything down, do it over again. And when I actually picked up a round, a spent shell from what I was shooting prior to that happening, I was noticing that the primer on the shell actually had a hole in it. Not a hole straight through the shell casing. It was just knocking out a small little cookie. I'm going to call it a cookie because that's when I called Barrett. That's what they described it to me as. A small little cookie shape, circular piece of the primer. It was knocking it out completely, and when it happened, everything was falling into the bolt. So I would say, we were 5 boxes in, we were, having us a good time, and then boom, something happens. I ended up having to send it to Barrett. Unfortunately, it was during the holiday season. That was November, December. So it was out for quite a while, but Barrett's customer service was absolute great. Chance was awesome. I really thank him for doing everything that he did and making sure that, I was satisfied with the product, and making sure that, again, I was back and running out in the field. So when I get the Barrett back, he wants me to try the ammunition that I had before we made the ammo swap, to make sure that it really was the ammo, and trying to, I guess, separate the fact, was it the whole batch, or was it just those couple boxes, or was it one box? Now, so I get it back, I take it back to the range, and we shoot maybe 2 boxes. So that's 20 rounds, and boom, it's happening again. So at this point, I am smoking. I got smoke coming out of my ears. I'm upset, but I'm not upset because Chance told me that it was a possibility that it could happen again. But he assured me that he will walk me through, and I did not have to send this out for repair. So yes, I contacted Barrett again. He answered. He told me exactly what I needed to do. I took it up to my local gun shop. He walked Bebo and I through it, and we got it working. And yes, long behold, when we stripped the bolt completely, you can actually see small little gold pieces of the primer that was falling into it, which was causing the malfunction. So that was another thing. And had a lot of like gold dust in there. So for this to be a battlefield rifle, it is in the AR style. Yeah, I know I'm gonna jig at those those AR lovers. You have to be quite careful with it, especially when you're shooting. You would hope that you have a good batch of ammo. They did change all of my ammo. We did send back 137 rounds, and they send me 137 beautiful fresh rounds. And everything has been working great. I'm excited. I'm happy about that. So that is a plus. Thank you, Barrett. Now, secondly, another bad for me about this Barrett is the weight. It weighs 32 pounds. It is 32 pounds of solid machinery. This is not light by any means. And luckily, Barrett sends it in a Pelican case. It's a beautiful case. They're sturdy, they're strong, they have wheels on it, so you're able to, transfer your monster, wherever it is that you need to go, here and there and everywhere, whatever. Just making that possible for you to transport it the most comfortable way that you can. Now, it's not a bad thing, but for me, had the barrel just been a little shorter than 29 inches, I know I would have been able to shoulder this. It is very front heavy, especially when you get your loaded magazine in there and, you're getting it up to your body. But I have mag dumped it standing up. If you have not checked that out, make sure that you go back and check it out. I have mag dumped it standing up. Unfortunately, it wasn't to the shoulder, but it was from the hip, and it looks super cool. So you got to see that for yourself. Yes, so we talked about the ammo, we talked about the magazines, we talked about the scopes, we talked about my issue that I had with my ammunition that I had. We talked about Barrett's excellent customer service. We talked about weight. We talked about barrel length, and we talked about that Pelican case that they give you, which is not a bad thing. It's actually pretty good because it's a great case. Now, one more bad thing before I wrap this bad part of it up is in order to travel with it or take it along wherever it is that you're going, you have to break it down. It's not a big breakdown, it's just two separate pieces. So you will pull out this pin right here, and you will pull out this pin right here, and your upper will pretty much separate from your lower. You would pack it in your case nicely. Putting it back together is not a big deal. One more thing, make sure your bolt is held back all the way before you held back and pinned. This pin right here is actually used to hold that bolt back while you're transporting. If you let it go, your bolt is gone. Remember, there is a spring in there, and it will cause that to project very, very far, and you don't want those problems. So it does break down into two parts. For transporting, not a big deal, but if it was just somewhere that we could just, you know, pull it out and put it back in, it would be great. Now, doing so, actually disassembling or removing it for transport purposes, you don't have to worry about that. You will not lose your zero on your scope. It is, you're not actually manipulating or anything as far as anything that has been bolted to the pick rail. Everything is actually just separates right on the base of this lower here. So when you remove the pin, it would lift up forward or lift up straight into the air. There is a J hook on the front that will hook to the lower, and you would just lower that down. Now, back to the scope. Not only was the scope $3,500, but these rings, these scope rings are also Night Force, and that was a whopping $350 just to hold that scope down. So like I said, it is a lot that goes into this, especially when you're, you know, dealing in the firearms. You want to have the best. Not saying that Night Force is the holy grail or all that or whatever. I know, but you know, you want to get quality for quality. Especially with doing something in this caliber, you don't want to find yourself having to replace anything because you thought that it would be cheaper for me to just, you know, let me just go with that because it's cheaper. You know, don't go that route. So I think that pretty much covers a lot of what I would say is bad. And it's really not even that bad because it's a part of the game. Part of the game. So let's get into the good. The good is it was something that I wanted, and I was able to satisfy my want, and I am glad that I was able to do that. And in my opinion, that is a, you know, the number one plus for me. Number two, you ain't gonna shoot nothing else like it. As far as civilian grade, this is a experience of itself. You have to experience this for yourself. Thank God that I own one, because I ain't paying nobody to shoot they Barrett, because I have my own. I'm not paying nobody to go out and do nothing like that, because I have my own, and thankfully so. Number three, in my opinion, it's just a cool must-have in a collection. This is a must-have. If you are a collector and you enjoy firearms and you enjoy, you know, just going to the range and not just looking at them and saying, oh yeah, I have that. Actually experiencing it, it is the wildest experience. Like I said, I've experienced it in the prone position. I've experienced it standing. I've experienced it shooting off of something. I would love to get a tripod to put it on and see, you know, if we can, you know, manage to get some standing shots on a tripod. We've sent her out 500 yards. She does excellent. So we've done 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously 100, because you've seen quite a bit of videos with her going at 100. So she's very accurate as well. Once you get her zeroed and you make sure that you are shooting at least the same grainage of ammunition through it, you are definitely going to be on target. So in my opinion, it is very, very accurate. I enjoy it. If you haven't seen another one of my videos, which is my 10 millimeter high point, make sure you check that out so you can see how accurate it is at about 100 yards. Again, we covered some bad, we've covered some good. Good because it's good for me because it's my dream gun. May not be good for you. Oh, it's overrated, whatever. And there's not many people walking around here with a 50 BMG. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love taking it out to the range. I love actually, you know, showcasing it. It is quite a conversation starter. I am going to get this shouldered. We are going to get us a mag dump off of the shoulder with the 50. It is going to happen. I am working out, trying to get those muscles built up so that we can make that happen. That is, you know, my dream was to get it. Now, my second goal is to shoot it from the shoulder. But all in all, you know, you have, just be honest. Take a look at this, and this is a masterpiece. The brake on the front is absolutely ridiculous. I think that alone probably weighs 25 pounds. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful firearm. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I know it might have sounded like I had a little bit more bads than goods to say about it. It really wasn't bad. Everything that I said was not bad. It was experience. I was just giving you an idea of what it is that I had to experience with my Barrett journey. But as far as, and you know, keep her clean. She's more on that AR side, and she's a little more needier than anything else that I have. But other than that, she's going to perform absolutely great every time. Every time, as long as you're giving her the ammo that she likes, the food that she likes, she's going to perform for you. Hey, that's all in all. Ladies and gentlemen, my Barrett M82 A1 chef's kiss. What do you think? Drop in the comments. I guess I can't say what else should I do to her because there's really not much left to do. I was thinking about actually putting something on here and making it pretty, which I know I'm not a real big Cerakote person. But we'll think about it. We'll definitely think about it, Yoke Gang. Make sure you check out www.yokegang.com. Go ahead and pick up a patch. I really appreciate it. You supporting the channel goes a long way. At this point, I would love to say I love it when things work because I wish we were at the range, but we're not. Y'all already know I love y'all for life. Peace.